show today. I hope you've gotten all the good tips. I have to tell you youngsters out there trying to get into the business, now, there's a right way and a wrong way to do things. You get great guests on the show, and they usually plug something, right? You watch The Tonight Show or David Letterman or whatever. They get the big stars when they're plugging their new movie. That's when you get them on the show. So you've got great PR, and then what I would call mediocre PR. You take, like, whoever put together this tour, this satellite tour of Lazone Randolph, executive chef at Brennan's, and Judith Fertig, half of the Barbecue Queens. They actually are at Brennan's, the home of Bananas Foster. And you got a great accomplished chef, and you've got this barbecue queen, and so they're talking about bananas in a very classy way. It makes you want to go try the stuff. I mean, they come up with the recipe, and so they're saying, yeah, they're obviously Dole wants you to talk about bananas, but we got some great tips there from executive chef Lazone Randolph and Judith Fertig. Am I right, Paul Stern?
We did get a lot of great tips, and indeed I am kind of enticed to want to go to Brennan's and experience that Bananas Foster, so indeed.
And I thought that would maybe not be the best segment of the show. And then I was very excited about the grill master of the universe, Dr. Q, Rick Brown, who's earned his PhD, Doctor of Barbecue Philosophy.
Very excited.
Who had way too many plugs. I mean, this guy was plugging the phone that he was on. It was an AT&T wireless, by the way.
Didn't do that.
And he was gurgling so much about his plugs that he actually hung up on himself during the actual interview.
I don't know.
I mean, he had more products at his disposal. He must have gone and got endorsements from about 80 different people. It's kind of like the baseball player that knows it's his last year, so everything he wears has got, a label on it. I would say he is the NASCAR. He is the NASCAR of the food world. When he walks, his entire suit is emblazoned with plugs. And so that was, I thought, not exactly the best segment, although I was anticipating having a doctor of barbecue philosophy and a grill master of the universe give some great tips. Instead, he's got Hillshire weenies with cheese inside of them, and he's got,
Cheddarwurst.
The cheddar. Yes,
I've actually seen them, though, in the supermarket, Mike.
He lost credibility, Paul, when he started talking about the Bic, the lighter that actually bends when you're lighting up his barbecue with that.
Yeah, I hate to see.
He lost it.
I hate to kind of disagree with you on air, Mike, but I did see actually I have some benefit by the recommendation, because a lot of people in our audience, I'm sure, are like myself, have used for years and years and years those elongated wooden matches.
And that's what you should continue to use, ladies and gentlemen. They're cheaper. You can light your fireplace with them.
But they break.
They're wonderful.
No, they break. Sometimes when you're trying to strike them at the end of the box.
I will not put one more plug in on this show. I will not go there one more time on my Shure microphone as it sits here in front of me on my beautiful Sears office furniture at my Office Depot desk.
Well, again, I'm
looking at my Samsung monitor and my HP computer and talking to you people over the great Time Warner, Cox, Comcast cable systems and great radio stations from Clear Channel and CBS Infinity. I will not put one more plug on this show today, unless, of course, it's one of those UL-approved plugs that you could put on there. So, yeah, you were saying?
Not to be a contrarian, but had time permitted, I probably would have asked them what one of those lighters would set you back. So, not that I did that, but I would have done that had time permitted.
Don't get the flexible ones. Get the straight lighters. They're cheaper. You can buy them in 3-packs at one of those big. One of the stores I like to go to is Sam's Club or Costco, where you can buy them in 3-packs. And they don't have to necessarily be the curly Q models. They can be the straight ones that go ahead and light things up. What else have you shopped for lately? We should change this from the What's Cooking show to Today's Shopper. Is Jerry Cook still around? Can we bring back the great Jerry Cook?
No, I actually hate to say this, but
yes.
I guess you weren't actually away when I initially started discussing this book that I picked up off of Amazon.com.
Amazon.com and some of the great bookstores around the country.
Yeah, I picked up a book called Chop Suey, and I was really excited about it, but let me tell you something. This is one of the worst books, one of the most boring reads.
If they don't get on TV, didn't you?
I was watching one of those programs that, like a city channel, where they emanate.
City channel. They emanate. Great Time Warner cable, which usually has excellent programming, and this seemed like a good show. It sucked you in, as I recall.
It wasn't exactly a show. It was a guy at a public library doing like a lecture, like an open forum lecture about his book.
Right.
So. In that context and under those circumstances, the book seemed rather interesting.
And he recommended the book on Chop Suey?
Well, he didn't have to recommend it. I went ahead and went to Amazon and ordered it myself. And literally, I hate to say this. Sometimes this 2 seconds after you open up a book that you kind of regret that you ever ordered it in the first place.
What was your first clue?
It just seemed that it's taken a long, long time to, first of all, get to America. There is so much history
Of chop suey?
It's going back. No, it's like Chinese history that predates even the Chinese coming to America.
Read the last chapter. It's when they bring it to America, and then the Americans buy it.
I did advance. I finally found a New York City Chinese menu towards the end of the book, and I kind of picked it up at that point. But really, it's just taken a long time.
Here's the tip. Next time when you're on one of those Access shows, if you see like a pair of chopsticks in the guy's rear pocket with a $20 bill kind of hanging out, you'll know that he was paid to plug that particular book at the library.
No, that wasn't the plug. The guy's name is Andrew Coe. He's a legitimate author. He's written for Savour magazine and
another plug. Put that one down. This has got the most plugs of any of our shows.
It's not a plug. It's not a plug. It's just it's a fact.
I prefer travel and leisure myself.
It's a credential.
Yes. Did I tell you I'm going to go have dinner at Angelo and Vinci's restaurant a little bit later on today and get some of the fine food there, maybe some Gallo wines while I'm down there. Might go and do that. And the travel guy with the Starbucks, he was credible. I mean, he just talked about liking to have a pack of the Starbucks. Like, can you imagine a travel expert with a Starbucks
You
coffee?
keep talking about Angelo and Vinci's restaurant, that Gallo wine. I'm going to actually kind of almost like a trance, go to the car and start heading down towards the restaurant.
Let's go to. I'm taking you down for lunch today. We'll get some good pizza down there. It's a great place.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about it.
On the way there, we'll get some sliders at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget those, the prime bites. We'll continue. Better get yourself another notepad. We have more tips for you. Michael Horn and Paul Stern on CRN.